Hello everyone, good evening. Fresh Bitcoin update. All right, so where were we before the weekend, right? We were trading somewhere around here. We longed the initial sweep. Well, we first longed this sweep of last week's Monday low, right? Closed it up here. Then big wick to the downside and we re-longed the dip there. Okay, so that's the setup you can see right now. Let me remove the setup for now. Why? What was the reasoning for it? Well, if you take a look at OTE, that was resting down there. Nothing changed. Still tons of liquidity resting, in our opinion, above Monday high and above these highs into last week's high. Okay. So the draw on liquidity was still to the upside. So we re-longed this dip called almost a bottom. Then over the weekend, well, we said probably nothing too much is going to happen. Probably a lot of chop. And yeah, basically that's what happened. We swept some local highs, swept some local lows, moved my stops to break even on Friday. Luckily, we didn't get taken out on this sweep, but I just moved my stops again below this week, so to its original place. Okay. Now let's talk about what I'm seeing going forward. Okay, so what we've seen here on Bitcoin, all of these lower highs, in my opinion, is just fuel for us to get higher. Okay, now the reason that I'm saying is on its own, right? It could also mean that we're just making lower highs, the bounces are getting weaker, and that we're approaching a breakdown, right? Why I personally think that's not going to happen is because of the higher time frames, okay? If we take a look at the daily, for example, and remove some levels, there we go. We can see, so yeah, we have these ranges that we've been trading in for ages, right? We broke above this higher time frame range mean, okay? And then a lot of ranging in the upper half of the range. Okay, so high time frame draw on liquidity is still towards the upside in my eyes. Okay, so it's still towards here. Now what we've seen was we had clean lows resting there and we took them out with a clean wick, a big daily wick, and closed back inside. Okay, since then, right, Bitcoin has just been ranging on the lower time frames, sweeping some lows and making lower highs on the lower time frames. Okay, so the reason I think Bitcoin is more likely to go for these highs first is just because of that reason, because high time frame liquidity to the downside has been taken and we have high time frame and low time frame liquidity resting towards the opposite side, which is towards the upside. Okay, so the logical next draw on liquidity would be towards this high. Okay, and that's also the main target for my Bitcoin longs would be there. Okay, if you take a look, that would already be 2R, which would be very decent. Okay, so I will definitely take off a good chunk of there. Okay, take some profit. So that level is last week's Monday high. All right. Now what I could see before doing so would be one more sweep of these lows. This is now also a weekly low, right? Last week's low. Let's actually draw it like this. Boom and boom. Last week's high. And last week's low, marked in green now. So what I could see here would be a sweep of last week's low, right, into this level. Ideally, I want to see this hold, right? My stop is there. I want to see that hold. Sweep there, reclaim this, okay? And then the draw would even be bigger towards the upside, towards this Monday high. Now, what I could also see would be just another smaller run into here, right? People have been calling for breakdowns every time we came back down to these lows, but every time we bounced back up. Okay, so I could just see a fat squeeze out of it. Okay, so trapping all of these shorts down here at once, and breaking to the upside, which then all of these lower highs right here will trigger stops, right, which will just act as fuel to go higher. All right. So that's what I'm seeing on the lower time frames. Okay, liquidation profile sort of gives you that same view. The delta is red. Okay, more short liquidations than long liquidations. But as you can see, a nice cluster resting beneath here, below here. So what I could see there would be first go for those, and then the delta will even be bigger here, and then see the short squeeze to the upside. Okay, so that's the main plan that I am watching for this week. Look for longs still. I still think that we will squeeze higher before potentially going lower towards those 25k targets. Okay, you can also see on this chart those liquidation levels. Give it a minute. There they are. Where are the main liquidation levels resting? Around this Monday high and slightly below last week's low. So that would also line up with taking those first and then going for the highs. Okay, or just go for the highs from here. Okay, so that's the reason. Now it should make sense on why I moved my stop back below here. Okay, because I could see a wick, and if it happens overnight, I'd get wicked out at break even, while the setup I'm currently in wouldn't be invalidated. Okay, so your stop loss should be at a place of invalidation and not just at a certain percentage from price or at break even, while break even might not invalidate the trade. Okay, I just put it at break even for the weekend because I didn't want to manage it. But now that we're back and able to manage, right, invalidation is there, target is up here. So let's see what we get. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe, sign up to Bybit, the link is in the description. If you did, send me a message on Discord and I'll get you added to my group. All right, so leave a like, comment what you think is going to happen, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.